We're about to dive into one of the most incredible, high-stakes rituals in the entire natural world, the nuptial flight of a honeybee queen. Now, this is a journey she only takes once in her life, but literally everything depends on it. The survival of her whole colony. We're talking tens of thousands of lives. So it really makes you ask, what price has to be paid for a kingdom? Because for a new queen, this isn't just some biological tick box exercise. No, this is an epic quest, and it's absolutely packed with danger, sacrifice, and of course, the promise of a future. Okay, so our story kicks off the very moment a new queen chews her way out of her special royal cell. She's basically born a princess, you could say, with one single, incredibly important mission ahead of her. But her first big challenge? It's not out in the big wide world. It's right there inside the hive. You see, if other queens pop out at the same time, it's an immediate battle to the death. A hive can only have one ruler, so she has to prove she's the strongest before she can even think about her great journey. This slide just perfectly sums up the stakes. On one side, you've got the virgin queen. She's pure potential, sure, but she's also a massive risk, a huge question mark. On the other side, that's the goal, the mated queen. She is the colony's security, the guarantee of a future for the hive. The entire colony is basically placing a giant bet that she can make that transformation. All right, so she's survived her sisters. But before she can take off on that great journey, she has to do her homework. She literally needs to learn the skies. This is that critical prep stage. After she's emerged and proven she's the one and only, the queen starts taking a series of short flights. They're called orientation flights. For a few days, she just circles the hive over and over, meticulously mapping all the landmarks, trees, rocks, you name it, building this incredibly detailed mental GPS. Because let's be real, finding her way back home is a matter of life and death. So with that internal map locked and loaded, the day finally arrives. She leaves the safety of her home for the single most important flight of her life, the great mating flight. But stop and think about that for a second. The sky is massive. She is one tiny little bee. How on earth is she supposed to find a mate out there in all that emptiness? Well, the answer is just one of nature's coolest phenomena, something called a drone congregation area, or DCA. Just picture these as invisible singles bars hanging in the sky. They're specific spots where thousands of male bees, the drones, from hives all over the area gather, drawn in by pheromones, all just waiting for a queen to fly by. And believe me, she will go to incredible lengths to find one of these spots. I mean, sure, a lot of DCAs are pretty close to the hive, but one queen was actually recorded traveling up to 16 kilometers. That's almost 10 miles on her quest. A seriously dangerous trip for such a small creature. And this is where the story reaches its dramatic and kind of tragic climax. We need to talk about the drone's ultimate sacrifice. So, to make sure her colony has lots of genetic diversity, the queen doesn't just mate with one drone. Oh, no. She mates with many, all while flying through the air. The numbers are just staggering. Usually it's somewhere between 7 and 17, but one study actually found a queen that had mated with as many as 45 different drones. 45! And for every single one of those drones, this is their one and only purpose in life. The act of mating is fatal. There's no delicate way to put it. As the research says, after mating, the drone's reproductive organs are torn from his body. He falls from the sky and dies. It really is a fatal embrace. The queen's success, her future, is built on the tragic but absolutely necessary sacrifice of all those suitors. Their deaths are what ensures the life of the hive. So, after securing her colony's entire future, our hero's quest is almost done. Now it's time for the final chapter, the triumphant return of the queen. And she doesn't come back empty-handed. She brings back visible, physical proof of her success. It's called the mating sign, and it's actually the reproductive organ of the very last drone she was with. When she gets back to the hive, the worker bees know what to do, and they'll carefully remove it for her. But the real treasure she brings back is completely invisible. From this one massive journey, she has collected and stored about 5 million sperm in a special organ. And get this, that's all the sperm she will ever need to fertilize eggs for the rest of her life, which could be 5 years. Her transformation isn't instantaneous, though. It's not like she flips a switch. After she gets back, it can take anywhere from 5 to 30 days for her ovaries to fully develop. And only then, after all that, does she begin her life's true work as the mother of the entire colony. And what a life's work it is. At her absolute peak, a healthy queen can lay up to 1,500 eggs in a single day. That's basically her own body weight in eggs every single day. She is a non-stop egg-laying machine, constantly growing her kingdom. But even after all that, the battles, the long flight, the successful mating, she's not totally out of the woods. There is still hidden dangers. She could have picked up a disease from one of the drones, for example. Or, if she gets disoriented by her GPS on the way back, she could accidentally enter the wrong hive. And if that happens, she'll be killed instantly. The mission really isn't over until she is safe, sound, and laying eggs back home.